everyone, this is Samya and welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how can you practice English every day, because it is one of the simple and best way to learn English. Just by practicing for a few minutes each day, you can acquire your level of English. But sometimes we are too busy in our life that we can't make time to learn English. But all of us know that learning English or any other language takes a lot of time. So you will have to be consistent with it. So what exactly you have to do? You can include this task in your daily life, which has to be done at any cost. You will have to build a habit to learn every single day. But sometimes we make excuses like, I'm a student, I'm working, I have my family to take care of, I have my children. So a lot of people quit learning English because they think it requires a lot of time. But learning any language will take some time and you will have to be consistent with it. I've seen a lot of people complaining that I don't have that much time to invest on learning English, because this is a myth that if you have to become fluent in English, you will have to spend hours each day to practice English or just to study English. But it's not the case. So just to solve this problem of yours, I am going to share my tips which help me to practice English every day. Just because of these simple steps, I have been able to practice English every day for last 1 year continuously. Whether I'm going to attend my class or I have a busy schedule or I have my exam, still somehow I'm able to practice English every day. And these are very simple steps which can be followed by every single person. So if you are willing to learn English, then you will never going to make excuses. You will easily be able to follow these steps without making any kind of excuse. So let's get started. The first thing I do every single day is listening. It's completely up to you to decide what you want to listen or watch, be it podcast or a story or any news in English. It's completely up to you to decide whether you would like to listen in English or you would like to watch in English. But if you're somebody like me who can't easily focus on audio, then you can watch any videos in English. If you're driving, then I would not recommend you to listen or watch anything in English. But if you're traveling in a bus or in a taxi, then you can use that spare time productively to listen or watch something. Now you may ask that how much time do I need to spend on listening? So I would highly recommend you to start from a very short span of time. In my opinion, 10 to 15 minutes is enough if you are a complete beginner, because if you only follow this one step, listening, then you would not have that much confidence to follow other steps. So you would be completely overwhelmed because of this process. But if you are an intermediate English learner, then it's completely up to you to decide, because I think you know it very well that how much time you can dedicate to follow each step. So when I was a beginner, I was following only 10 to 15 minutes each step because I didn't want to feel exhausted, and it did help me in this way. Now let's move to the next step. So you are gradually becoming comfortable in the language by listening, but you will have to understand that listening is not everything. Although it has its own importance and you are going to get benefits from it, but you will have to start reading as well, because it will really help you to understand the context, and it will not only help you to improve your pronunciation, but it will also teach you a lot of grammar rules, that when you have to use this sentence, when you have to construct such sentences. Now you may say that when it comes to listening, I was able to make my time, but I can't read books in English. Well, I'm not telling you to read books in English. What I'm trying to say here is you have to read whatever you want, but it has to be in English. Be it an article or blog or books or newspaper, it's completely up to you. And I think if you're from English medium, then it would become pretty easier for you. You just have to choose any particular subject which you like the most and start reading a page every single day. I know you can easily follow this because it's not that hard, but you will have to make sure that you are reading that page out loud. You know what? It's just a myth that if you have to become fluent in English, you need to read books. Although I can't deny the fact that reading books has its own advantage and it can transform your life drastically, but I can tell you one thing as per my own experience, that you can still become fluent in English without reading books. Because while I was reading books, I had no books. Recently I got a book, but I don't think that those books has affected my English that much, because I had already learned English to some extent, because we all have internet and it works as a gym. You can find whatever you want online. What I'm trying to say here is, you don't have to read 10 pages each day. You just have to build a habit to read a page every single day. If you have books, then you can follow this step, and if you're a beginner, then I think it would be pretty easier for you to complete a single page every day. But if you think that you don't have books, or you can't make your time to read books, because sometimes it will take time to carry your books along with yourself and it would be a little bit difficult, so you can go to Google and search any topic related to your interest, and you will be suggested multiple articles and blogs as per your interest. So you can start reading those articles, and I think it will hardly take 5 to 7 minutes to complete that article or that page. So I don't think you are ever going to miss this opportunity to learn English, because it is very, very simple to follow. Now, after following these two steps, I'm sure you would have learned some of the sentences in English. So you can start speaking. You may say that I don't have time to speak in English. So don't worry. You don't have to speak for an hour. You just have to dedicate 8 to 10 minutes each day to your speaking skill. Now you may say that how can I speak? Then whenever you are getting ready for your college, for your school, or for your office, you can stand in front of mirror and talk to yourself. You can speak whatever you want. Now you may say that, okay, now I got to know that when I have to speak and how much time I have to dedicate to my speaking skill. But whenever I try to speak in English, words don't come to my mind. So you don't have to worry about it, because in the beginning you don't have to pressurize yourself to speak fluent and flawless English, because it's not possible for everybody. Even when I was learning English, I was fumbling multiple times, but I did not give up. I was literally trying every single day, and gradually I could see improvement in my English. So when you're looking at yourself in front of mirror, you can describe about yourself. You can talk about your strengths, about your weakness, about what are the good habits you like about yourself, or what are the bad ones you would like to eliminate from your life. It could be anything. You can also describe about your day, that what are the things you have to get done today, or how your life is going to be, or how your day is going to be. You can talk about whatever you want. Once you are done with it, you have to write down all the vocabulary which you learned by reading or by listening. So first of all, you have to write them down in a notebook with their meaning, and then revise them every single day before going to your bed. So what exactly I used to do? When I was a beginner, I used to review them every single day. But now I have a list of vocabulary which contains more than 500 vocabulary. So it's very obvious that I can't revise them every single day. So I have set a goal for myself that I am going to review the entire vocabulary in a week. So no matter how many vocabulary I'm going to revise each day, but at the end of the week, I will have to complete revising them entirely. So this is how you can set your goals for revising your vocabulary. The most important part is writing. I don't understand this one thing, that how do people neglect this step? Because I'm sure once you realize the importance of writing while learning any language, you would never stop writing. Because I have seen a lot of people who complains that writing takes a lot of time, but it's not actually. It hardly takes 8 to 10 minutes, and you just have to put your opinion out there. You have to write whatever you want. Even though if you are using improper grammar rules, that's perfectly fine. You just have to build a habit to write as much as you can. Now again, this is a problem that what I should write. You can write about everything. You can write about any object, you can write about yourself, you can write about your friends, your family members, you can write whatever you want. So that's how you are done with practicing English every day. These are very simple steps which can be followed by every single person, and these are the steps I followed when I was a complete beginner, and then gradually I started spending more and more time on learning English. So that's how you can practice English every single day without thinking too much about your time, that you are really very busy in your life or you have a lot of work to get done. So that's all I had to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful and interesting. So please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.